If you're looking for a new Android smartphone, you've probably taken a look at devices from Samsung, OnePlus, and even Google. While those devices may be great, we actually recommend taking a look at the Huawei Mate 9. It may actually just be good enough to pull you away from the smartphone brands you've come to love over the years.
The Mate 9 isn't going to win any awards for its design. It's mainly a drab aluminum and glass smartphone with no unique design elements. Its aluminum unibody is elegant, but you would have a hard time spotting it in a lineup these days if it wasn't for the dual camera module on its back. The only design element that we are impressed with is the Mate 9's thin bezels and space above and below the display, giving the phone a 77.5% screen-to-body ratio. This makes the Mate 9 smaller than most other devices with a 5.9-inch or 6-inch display. But this thing is still massive. You can use the phone with one hand thanks to a few software tweaks provided by Huawei, but I found myself two-handing the phone a lot more often than I did with devices like the HTC 10 or the Huawei P9. A phone this size may be too much for some, but if you spend more time using the phone than you do actually carrying it around, the 5.9-inch display is one of the phone's most impressive features. Its resolution is limited to 1080p. But I didn't notice much of a difference when comparing it to Quad HD displays, unless I held the phone within inches of my face. The IPS LCD produces gorgeous colors and crisp images, but Huawei does allow you to calibrate the color temperature on your own if you don't like the default settings. The good news is, the Mate 9 isn't just about size. It's the first device on the market to use Huawei's new octa-core Kirin 960 processor, which is paired with the Mali G71 GPU. It also has 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. Saying that this phone is fast would be a massive understatement. The Mate 9 is a monster, ready to chew up and spit out anything that you throw at it. The phone is perfect for working or multitasking while on the go, but its true power is only evident while gaming. And since the chip supports the Vulkan API, games like Vainglory, Hit, and Need for Speed No Limits look even better. The camera on last year's Mate 8 was okay, but Huawei has stepped up its game with the Mate 9. Like the P9, Huawei's new flagship device has a Leica-branded dual camera setup on the back. Rather than using the same setup though, the dual camera on this phone sports a 12-megapixel main sensor, which is paired with a 20-megapixel monochrome sensor. This allows the device to digitally blur out the background, brighten up darker scenes for improved low-light performance, and also manages to offer digitally enhanced 2x optical zoom. If you want a phone that takes great pictures, the Mate 9 is hard to beat. Personally, I enjoy the bokeh effect offered by the dual camera, but you do need to be a little bit patient in framing the right shot since the software can sometimes get things wrong. However, the main advantage of having a monochrome and color sensor working in unison is that the Mate 9's camera can capture more light than any other smartphone on the market. This is evident in low light shots, but you notice it in well lit shots as well. The only downside is that the images you see in the viewfinder aren't always the images that the Mate 9 delivers in the end. Another upgrade that the Mate 9 has over the P9 is optical image stabilization. I didn't notice much of a difference when snapping pictures, but OIS definitely helps in smoothing out the video recorded on the phone. The front-facing 8-megapixel camera can capture decent shots as well. You get the usual beauty mode, which blurs out the imperfections on your face, but I actually enjoyed using the panorama feature with the front-facing camera, which allows you to capture a shot with more people in it or fit in more of your surroundings. Cramming in a great camera and incredible performance into a large smartphone is great, but Huawei went the extra mile to ensure that the Mate 9 has enough power to allow its users to truly enjoy all of its features. The 4000 mAh battery that's built into the phone is phenomenal. The battery optimizations introduced with Android Nougat and the custom tweaks Huawei has thrown in allow the Mate 9 to last 1.5 to 2 full days on a single charge. It is possible to drain the battery completely in a single day, but you'll need at least 6.5 hours of screen on time to do so. And when the battery does get low, Huawei's supercharge technology allows you to charge the phone from 0 to 58% in just 30 minutes. On the software side, the Mate 9 is running Emotion UI 5.0 on top of Android Nougat. Huawei's custom skin doesn't look much different than it has in the past, but there are quite a few new features that are hidden away. The biggest of which is the addition of a new app drawer, which actually needs to be turned on manually within the settings. You also get Android 7.0's new grouped notifications and customizable quick settings. If you're a multitasker, you'll definitely enjoy the new multi-window support built into Nougat, which allows you to use 2 applications at the same time. You also get the ability to jump back to the app that you were most recently using by double tapping the multitasking button. Overall, the Mate 9 is an incredible upgrade over the Mate 8. The phone's performance makes it one of the fastest Android devices that we've ever tested, and the camera allows you to capture images that are on par or even better than what you would be able to capture with flagships from Samsung, Google, and even Sony. The only downside is the Mate 9's price, since it's currently selling for €749. But even so, the Mate 9 is still one of the top 3 smartphones of 2016.